The question that I'm going to try and answer is how do you make friends if you're traveling alone at a hostel? And hostels aren't always as empty as the one that I'm showing you right now. It's almost 2 in the morning. I just got off a crazy sleeper bus last night. Napped pretty much all day because I didn't get to sleep last night. So my schedule's all messed up. But my advice for making friends when you aren't the only one awake is number one, try and do something that I'm still going to try and do tomorrow, which is if there's a communal breakfast or something, be there because that's a cool way to meet people at the start of the day. Something about eating together. You might just ask the person next to you, so what are you going to see today? And they might say, oh yeah, we're going down to the museum, or we're going to go down to the local market. Do you want to come? I mean, half the time it's just that easy. And next thing you know, you got friends to hang out with for the day. You might have friends to hang out with for the whole week. It's actually not that uncommon for people to meet friends and just kind of kick it off and end up traveling to the next city with those people, even adjusting your travel plans to make that work. Which might sound kind of funny to people who have never done it before, but it's surprisingly easy because, I mean, as long as you have an extended period of time to travel with, you can kind of allow that to shape your travels however you want it to. The spontaneity of meeting someone who you get along with and then continuing to travel with them is pretty awesome. Like the last city I was in Cambodia, me and Nari, the girl I was traveling with before, we met these two Russians and they kind of showed us how to hitchhike. I have hitchhiked before, but never in a place like Cambodia, and that was a fun experience to be a part of. And they ended up going their separate ways in a couple of days, but we had new travel friends that I never would have imagined. I mean, they barely spoke a word of English and had a little flask of liquor that they put in their morning coffees and let me taste. True Russians. They were awesome. Shout out to you, Misha and Mila. Just put yourself in positions where you can meet people. It's simple advice, but it really is the best advice. If you don't have much to do, if you don't have much planned, like chill in a common area like this. Even if you just have your laptop and you're doing a bit of work, or Facebooking or whatever it is you have to do, people sit down next to you and you'll start talking. At nighttime, people are usually hanging out, drinking. It's not socially awkward or weird or anything to just join them and have a drink and just kind of introduce yourself. And if that seems like a lot to ask, I mean, I know everyone's different. Some people can be a bit shy and that might seem strange. You probably won't have to. Someone will probably introduce themselves to you first. I wasn't the most outgoing guy, believe it or not, even though I'm making these videos here. I was never outgoing when I started traveling. But the experience of meeting people over and over when you're alone on the road really breaks you out of that shell pretty quickly. And on the flip side, if you see someone else who's kind of hanging out on their own, like you'll want to go say hello to them. Not to be creepy or whatever, but like, and just make them feel included because you know what it's like to be in that situation. And yeah, something about hostels, it's like we're all from so many different places with so many different stories that meeting people just kind of happens naturally. And it's like the first day of school, you know, like when you're at a new school, the person you sit down next to, if you say hi to them, they could end up being your best friend for the next 4 years of school, you know? The person you sit next to or the person who ends up sharing the bed underneath of you. If you just say hi, you know, like, you could be good friends. So I hope that advice helps you guys out a little bit. Anyone who might be worried about what it's like to make friends, that's the least of your concerns. You know, worry about bed bugs and pickpockets and stuff like that, but there's always friends to be made in a cool hostel, so.
My name's Dan. I'm from the New Travel Blog. If you want to know more about how I travel for cheap, you can definitely subscribe or not. That's really up to you.
This guy's got to go get some sleep. But I will be back with more hostile questions.